Hey, it's Rob Jackson with Phandroid.com. I'm here with the all-new Motorola Moto G 2015, an upgrade to last year's model. If you're not familiar with this device, the great thing about it is that it has really solid specs, but it's super cheap and affordable. So this particular device would be $179. You can buy it right now on Motorola's website, and it would come with 8 gigabytes of memory and 1 gigabyte of RAM. You can pay at $40 more, $219 total, for the 16 gigabyte version that has 2 gigabytes of RAM instead. So still super cheap. And you can see that one great upgrade to this, the rear, you can see this material, the grippy rubberized type of plastic, is all new. It was like a soft touch back last year, and this is it gives a great comfort in the hand when holding it. And of course this dimple right here also helps kind of just centering your balance almost when using the device. But this is available on Moto Maker now, so just like with the Moto X and this upcoming year with the Moto X Style, how you're able to customize the look and feel of your device, you'll be able to do that now. Actually, you can right now with the Moto G. So you'll be able to choose white or black for the face color. And then on the back, you can choose from about 10 different colors for this grippy texture on the back. And then with this metal casing right here for the camera and the flash, you can choose an accent color for that. And I believe the buttons as well. So really cool that now the Moto G is available for customization. Some spec talk in addition to the internal memory. 5-inch display. This is supposed to be a value phone, so it doesn't have the crazy 1080p or 4K display that you see on the flagships. But a very capable 720p display on this 5-inch screen. So kind of the sweet spot that large enough and clear enough that pretty much the typical user will really like it. If you're used to using one of the best displays ever, you'll notice the difference. But it's still a pretty good experience. So the 5-inch screen there. By the way, this exterior, it does pop off right here at the bottom. And so that comes right off. And then down here is where you put your micro SD slot and your SIM card. So despite having this plastic card pop off, it is IPX7 water resistant, and that's probably part of the reason that this camera is in this little encasing that's separate from the plastic removable cover. You can get this wet, you can drop it in the toilet, pull it out, and it will still work after a little quick drying off. Don't go showering in this or anything, but it is great that it is water resistant. The screen is also Gorilla Glass 3, so will not scratch from the typical keys in the pocket syndrome or coins in the pocket syndrome. Processor here is the Qualcomm Snapdragon 410 with 1.4 gigahertz quad core. And there is a 13 megapixel camera on the front, you can see up here. And actually, when you take a picture with that, with the selfie, actually, did I say that was a 13 megapixel? Excuse me, that's 5 megapixel on the front. When you take a picture with it, if it's low light conditions, it will kind of flash the screen to give you the kind of virtualizing what a typical flash would do. And there are some low light photo improvements on this device on the front and the back. So for the camera, there are some nice improvements there. Still not going to be up to par with the best of the best flagships, but they do a really solid job. So 13 megapixel camera on the back with flash, and a 5 megapixel camera on the front with flash. And that's an upgrade from last year's 8 megapixel on the rear and 2 megapixel on the front. Pretty solid camera either way you look at it. I think they had this last year too, but one cool little feature is if you tilt, excuse me, looks like I still gotta do setup process a little bit. Maybe later. Okay, got it. Great. So if you tilt your wrist like that, it will launch the camera and then give you this little tutorial. And if you actually do it again, then it sets off the selfie camera. So similar to that, there is you can see there's no flash on the front right now, but you can get the flash going just by going chop, chop, and then it sets the flash off, which are pretty cool. And Motorola has a bunch of these features on this phone. I'll turn it off right there. Has a bunch of these features on the phone. It is pretty much stock Android, but they've added a couple, slight little customizations like that, which are really nice. This phone actually feels really good to use in the hand as well. It's a nice size. It's got this curved kind of entire body, which makes it sit really nice in your hand and in your pocket. There's that 3.5 millimeter headset jack at the top. Comes with an FM radio. You've got to use have your headphones plugged in for the FM radio to work, because the actual the plug in there will act kind of as the antenna for the FM radio. 2470 milliamp hour battery, a little bit upgrade from last year, but because of the specs of this phone in general, and the beefy battery in comparison to the specs, this thing's going to last a pretty good time. So the Moto Gs in particular do get pretty strong and decent battery life. You can see the power button here on the right, along with the volume rocker. What else are we missing down here? Micro USB charger. One thing I did notice is that the micro SD card slot, which is right there, says that it supports up to 32 gigabyte micro SD cards. But I found that a lot of times when they say that, they actually will support much more than that. So that's something we definitely want to test, because if you can get a 128 gigabyte card from SanDisk or something for all your music or your videos or TV shows or whatever you have on your card, that obviously you want to have the ability to do that. So that's just a really quick run over the Moto G, just to give you guys a look at it. Again, it's available on Moto Maker right now in all those different colors for super cheap, $179. Of course, there's no contract. You take it to your carrier of choice, and they'll set it up for you, or $219 for the upgraded one. And for me, I think for $40 extra, you're still well under $250, less than half of any flagship phone that's out there now. A really good deal. We'll be doing a full review on this device, so if you have questions about it and you want to know anything, let us know in the comments, and we'll be sure to cover them in our full review. And we like to spend a little bit of time with each device and thoroughly review it to make sure we're giving you guys a trustworthy opinion. So you probably won't see a full review until the middle of next week, but stay tuned for that. And if you just can't wait, head on over to Motorola's website, where you can buy the Motorola Moto G 2015 right now.